World of Warships review, a free-to-play game from Wargaming. Hi everybody, welcome back to Daily Gamer Opinion. I am Joe the Widget Wilson, and today I'm talking to you guys about World of Warships, a free-to-play game, a naval battle game that is produced by Wargaming. The same makers who did World of Tanks, which is a really popular tank game. It's more of an arcade-style tank, but this one is more of an arcade-style naval battle, which is set between World War I and World War II. It is free to play. It is truly free to play too. You can you can just download it, pop right in, and start playing. The graphics are amazing. The ships are incredible, and it's set through a tier system similar to World of Tanks. If you've never played it, you start out at Tier 1, which is like your World War I naval ships. And you progress to the lines through different nations: America, Japan, Russia, China, Germany, and I believe they're adding British ones as well. As you can see right over here, that it is slow paced in the beginning when you start a match, as you start positioning your ship, but then the battle gets intense. It really does, and you have 4 different types of ships, and they really play off of the rock paper scissors mechanic. And normally rock, paper, scissors is 3, which that's true here too, because only 3 of the ships really play to that. The 4th one, the aircraft carrier, is kind of on its own category, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the 3 main types of ships you have are your destroyer, your cruiser, and your battleship. They do not have submarines. They will not put submarines in. They've said that multiple times, and I can agree with them on that it would kind of outbalance the game. It would throw a game off bad. And by rock, paper, scissors, I mean that each ship class is strong against one other and weaker against another. Like, for instance, your destroyer is a very fast, low armor ship that can throw out smoke screens, it can have a speed boost, and it's loaded with torpedoes, nasty torpedoes. Torpedoes are a little bit difficult to launch and control in the beginning, but once you get the hang of it, they can be super nasty. And the strategy involved with them is pretty cool. They are very weak against the cruiser. The cruiser is more of a middle ground. Some cruisers do contain torpedoes, especially the Japanese line and the early American, but they do have much faster shooting guns that are more powerful than the destroyer, so they can easily take out a destroyer. But the destroyer is very strong against a battleship, heavy armor, but is really susceptible to torpedoes. That because the battleship is so big and bulky, they're slow, and they have slow maneuverability, and they cannot dodge torpedoes as well. As you can see in the video in a little bit, I play a destroyer in the second one, where I do hit a few battleships with my torpedoes and do some serious damage to them. But they are very weak, and they can be taken out easily, and with my luck, one shot and my systems are disabled and I can't move. But then they have repair facilities, things like that you can take care of. There's 2 different ammo types. You have your armor piercing and your set them on fire. The game balances really well. There are ships, though, that my big negative is that there are ships that are a lot more powerful than others in the same tier. And a good example of that's the Cleveland, which is an American tier 6. American tier 6 is by far the most powerful ship in its class, in its tier. It is deadly. It can take on battleships one-on-one and defeat them. It's the only cruiser I know that can do that. But then you get to the next tier, and that ship on the next tier of it, the higher tier, is actually weaker than the Cleveland in every category. It doesn't make any sense. But then once you get past that into tier 8, they become strong again, and you're overpowered and have fun. Now, the cruisers are weak against battleships. They cannot take the hits the battleship can dish on them. They're a lot slower than the destroyer, so they can't dodge the battleship near as much. But they are really strong against a destroyer. They can wipe them out. So cruisers, strong against destroyers, weak against battleships. Battleships are your snipers in the game. They have a very strong guns, really slow reload, but they can shoot at a high range, like much further than anyone else. If you play a Japanese battleship, my favorite, you can snipe across the map with them. If if you know how to aim them. You got to be able to lead your ship. You got to lead your target and know the trajectory. It's fun. It really is. It doesn't sound like it when I'm saying it, but it's crazy fun. They did a fantastic job with World of Warships. The big thing about the game... Well, let me get to the aircraft carrier first. Aircraft carrier, the way it stands out on its own is it's a different mechanic altogether. You are playing from your map. That's how you play it. You're basically telling where your airplanes need to go and what they need to do, while trying to keep your aircraft carrier out of everyone's view because you're really susceptible to damage, especially from destroyers. You have 3 different types of aircraft. You have your torpedoes, which are overpowered and need to be nerfed. Wargaming. Your bombers, and your fighters. Your fighters are out there to protect your other aircraft. Now, there are cruisers that have very good anti-air, and the American line cruisers around tier 5 and up have very good anti-air, and they have specials against them. But still, carriers can be devastating, and they are normally the #1 target for people because they can really change the battlefield. And there are objective-based maps where you got to claim objectives, and sometimes there's only one objective. The game either ends if you wipe out your opponent completely, like all of their ships, or you capture their bases, or you capture more bases if it's an ABC scenario, and the points go up and down depending on who gets killed, who kills who captures what. It's complicated, but it's actually, no, it's not that complicated. But once you play, you get the hang of it pretty quick. They do a really good job of getting you into the game. Now, the premium that you can pay for, it's like $15 a month, give or take. You get bonus XP for every in a battle, so it does kind of progress you faster. But the reason why I'm saying it's not pay to win at all is the fact that you could go to the same end goal as everyone else without spending a dime, and just be as strong as everyone else without spending a dime. It will take you longer, but you can still get there without spending a penny. So it's well worth it. My review on this game is I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. It does have some balancing issues in certain tiers. It does get slow-paced at some points in the game. But all in all, the graphics are amazing, the ships are well balanced, and the combat is a lot of fun. It really is. It's a really cool game, and I highly recommend it to everyone out there, really. So I recommend downloading World of Warships. I'll put it in the comments below. It's well worth it. Have fun with it. And you will. I promise. And that was my opinion of World of Warships, guys. If you want to hear more about the game, you want tips and tricks on it, some guides, just put in the comments below. I will be glad to do videos for that. And that was my opinion, everybody. And have a great week. And I will talk to you tomorrow.